Sure. Cool. We're checking in on week 15 tonight. There's a module for check-in. Hey, you're checking in on week 15. There's a check-in module.
Oh, okay.
There's some students going to be online. So everybody just use them online modules, fine. I don't care. Yeah, you can actually set over on that table there.
I had everything already put together since I did that.
Yeah, you can set over on the table. That's fine. Just save you having to bring it next week, right?
Yeah.
Just save you from having to bring it next week. Just leave it on that table there. It'd be great. Cool.
Actually, I want to make sure I structure it.
But go.
Resume,
Mm-hmm.
and then pictures that were printed out,
Great by tens, yeah.
and then
Thumbnails.
the things.
That looks good, buddy. Yeah. Do what now? Oh, the max?
Yeah.
All right on board. It's CIS 290 boot camp. Oh, shoot. You guys get checked in the check-in module? Us four and no more. Always like to say that. All right. Well, the rest of them's online. Hello, online people. All right. So tonight we're going to be going over announcements, final portfolio requirements. I did pick a portfolio up here that is exactly what you need to make yours like. I'll pass it around. You've seen it before, but just that's what your format you're looking at. And we'll go over that in a second. And then directions for the portfolio requirements, directions for next week's mall class. The reason we're having it at the mall is I'm doing hour of code, and I thought instead of me rushing to get here at 8, why not you guys just come there at 7:35? So we'll do that. Something different, right? And you'll watch your presentation in the middle of the mall by Maurice's next week. So make sure and come. Our code goes till 7:30. I'll probably try to let them out by 7:15, but we'll officially start at 7:35. Sound good? Bring your portfolio with you. I'll already have your presentation by that point. We'll talk about how to submit that in a second. Questions about Cherryville Mall next week? And you know Maurice's, does everybody know where that's at? Or Charming Charlie's? It's right in that area there. You'll see a sign that says hour code. You'll see the tables up there. Cool. Anyone online have a question about Cherryville Mall? Yeah.
Where in Cherryville Mall would you be?
Where? Second floor. You want to go up the elevator, or if you come in JCPenney, you just go straight through JCPenney and go to the right. When you get past, when you get to the elevators in the center core of the mall, take a right, and you'll walk right into it. Okay. Good question. All right. So everybody's ready for that. So let's go ahead and get started. You did the check-in. Hopefully everybody checked in face-to-face and online both. Thank you for passing that around. Okay. First thing, let's do this. Get this out of the way. There's a checklist here on the Module 15 checklist in week 15. If everybody could click on that link, and then there's a checklist on there. Just check honestly what you have done and don't have done. It's for your eyes only anyway. And then what you're going to do is submit to this area here that yes, you will have everything completed by next week. Or no, I have to put on that. So hopefully everybody's yes, you'll have it completed by next week. So if you click on this survey, it's just a simple checklist of stuff you should be completing or completed already. And mine took forever to load on my computer, but the students said this one loaded fast on your computer, so maybe it's the same tonight. I don't know. Looks like it's finally loading here. Is your guys loaded already? Yeah, mine takes forever. I don't know why. Anyway, on that checklist, go through and just check what you have done and don't have done. I'll walk around in the room here to see where you're at. You don't have to justify anything, by the way. I'm just going to kind of see visually where everybody's at. I'll give you a few moments to do that. Here we go. So 3-ring binder. And instead of 2017, it should be 2019. Resume, 3 to 5 8x10 photos in a plastic cover. You can get the photos done at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, anywhere else I can think of. Office Depot. They did a good job, and they're pretty cheap. It's going to cost about $1, $1.25 at the most. I wouldn't pay more than $1.50 for 8x10. Anybody find any cheaper than that, by the way? No. So any place you go, I wouldn't spend more than $150. And the reason I recommend the 3x5 or to take it and get it done at Walgreens or CVS or Walmart is it's cheaper to print it there actually than print it on your home computer because ink's so expensive at home. It's like $60 to fill your HP printer colors. And it looks better anyway, right? Having them do it. So the way I use it here in town, I generally use Walgreens, but I have used Office Depot in McChesney or in Rockford. They have like an hour turnaround, both of them. And they do a good job. And they'll alert you when it's done. Anybody else use Office Depot before for printing? They do a good job. They do. Really nice people in both places. Thumbnails of all your photos. And the portfolio being passed around in here has, I believe he's got the cover sheet. It's for 2017, I believe, that one passing around. Then after that, he's got his resume, 3 to 5 8x10s in a plastic sheet, and then his thumbnails at the end. So that's kind of what you want. Nothing more than that. So if you have on your Adobe Spark Video slideshow 50 photos, you'll have 50 thumbnails, and you'll circle the thumbnails. I think I said in the original with a red circle, or it doesn't have to be red though. It can be whatever. You can circle with a pencil if you want to. I don't care. Just so I kind of know what pictures you printed out from your presentation. And yeah, you want to bring it on this side over here? That'd be great.
I just got here.
That's all right. And then we're going to be doing, I still have the DVD thing in the scribbles here, but nope, you're checking in on 15 modules. Nobody's doing DVD presentation, right? Is everybody doing online? Even though I still have that in the instructions, I believe most of you don't have DVD players to do a DVD presentation. So what do you guys think, by the way, of Adobe Spark Video? Pretty easy to use? Hard? What do you think? Don't care? Is anybody not started? Hopefully that means maybe you've not started it. Anybody finish your Spark Video? What'd you think of it?
Wasn't bad.
It's pretty basic, right? I mean, it's not earth-shattering or anything. But the reason I chose it, and I've chosen it for the last few years, you don't have to be a video guru to use it, right? Yeah, pretty easy to use, right? And one thing you want to pay attention on the slideshow is you want at least 5 seconds per photo, generally. And you do have to manually do that in Spark Video, I believe, unless they changed it. Last I used it, you did. Is that correct? Something manually, slide by slide. I think the default, if you don't change anything, might be 2 to 3 seconds or something. And that's pretty fast. Now the soundtrack, did you upload your own soundtrack or did you use your own? You'd upload your own? Is that pretty easy to do?
Yeah.
Did you upload an MP3? Okay. Because you can use an MP3, or they do have some fairly decent soundtrack in Spark Video. It's all open source, creative, open source music. So you're not going to be copyrighted infringement for using it. And I have to be careful when I stream this next week because every time I do, students use copyrighted music, YouTube goes, flag. So what we might do is pause that part. Oh, thanks. Cool. So how many's using copyrighted music, by the way, in your presentation? I know one. Anybody else copyrighted? Copyrighted music in your video for your slideshow? No, how are you using it for this presentation? Don't know yet. Okay. Well, again, I would suggest if you've not started on it, use the embedded music in Spark Video. Again, you can choose. I think they've got hundreds of soundtracks, I think, in there. So, and it's, you know, for a slideshow, it's fairly decent, I think. Not too bad, right? So that way you don't have to worry about downloading an MP3, uploading it, which it does work, by the way. I've used it multiple times. So anyway, Spark Video. Anybody have a question online about Spark Video, by the way? Somebody says Spark crashed every time I try to extend the pick time per photo. Make sure you're using Chrome web browser. If you're not using Chrome web browser, I would suggest doing that. And if that doesn't work, I've heard Firefox works as well. As the one you want to stay away from is Internet Explorer. I don't think works well with it. You were using Chrome, okay. Only thing I suggest is maybe you can duplicate your. I'm answering a question online here. You can duplicate a photo show. Try to duplicate one and then change the extension of time. Try that one and let me know how that works for you, because I've had to do that before. I've had to duplicate an existing Spark video and then make edits to it because the first one didn't like edits for whatever reason. So try that, okay? Cool. All right. Make sure you test your online photo show before next week. And again, if you have all your photos together and you start from nothing on Spark Video, it takes at most 30 minutes to 45 minutes to create it. Done. And it's finished. Cool. Questions on the checklist? Let me walk around real quick. I said I'd walk around and look at your checklist. I'm not going to judge, by the way. And this is in week 15, by the way. Checklist is. Again, I'm not judging. I was in college too, remember? I did many things the night before. So don't worry about it. Okay? You're not going to get a red mark, so don't worry about it. Cool. Well, that's a login for the Macs in here, probably. Be quicker if you want to. All right. Sweet. Those of you online, I cannot see your checklist, but just make sure and follow along that checklist to make sure you got everything done. All right, I'm going to close out the checklist. Now, everybody, including those online, in the 15 checklist that I've got in front of you, make sure and answer the question. Will you have all items on list complete by next week? Answer below yes or no. And hopefully everybody answers yes. And there isn't, I don't know, or maybe. And so yes or no. Hey. Yeah, you don't want to know how many times I waited till last night for papers. 30-page papers, wait the night before. That's not fun. Nobody else has done that in here, right? Am I the only one that's done that? Everybody else works ahead of time, right? On everything? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Got it. All right. All right. So that's simple. Then this one just basically is a discussion. What did you get done this week? As always, we've been doing that each week. Any issues, tips, tricks. You find tips, tricks with the photo, the Adobe photo video posted in here, because there's probably tricks you guys can figure out that I don't know about. And they've updated stuff since I've used it last, I know. So I know one of the new things I've updated is they've added more themes to Adobe Video, which you get more themes now than you had a year ago. More music has been added. And I did learn the trick, which I shared with somebody online, about the duplication of Spark if it crashes. If you have issues with Spark Video crashing, duplicate it duplicate that Spark video, and then edit the one you duplicated. That works. I have had to do that multiple times. I think what happens, it gets a bug in there somehow, and it just, you can't fix it. So anyway, it's technology. Sometimes that works. It doesn't work. All right, and that end of module. Let me go back to my original checklist here for 15. Now I want to talk about some registration. I got to talk about that. Oh, let's go to week 16. I want to talk about that. So week 16 is face-to-face. You will be at Cherryville Mall. We'll be posting it online. And where's my module for submission here? There it is. Final portfolio on week 16. I put it after the end portfolio. So you will post in this module here, you will post a link to your online portfolio. You will bring with you your portfolio hard copy to the mall next week. And if you wanted to drop it off here on campus before next Tuesday, you may do so by putting it up here on the table up here. That'd be great. Nobody touched anything in here, which is a good thing. Can't say that everywhere on campus, but in here it's pretty safe. So you can, if you don't feel safe doing that though, you can definitely bring it to the mall. I'll have my cart to load it on. 150 points. So if you have completed successfully an online portfolio with 30 to 50 photos on average, music at the background of each one of the photos, and you turn in your hard copy portfolio with all the requirements, which are the title page with Web225 Spring 2019, a simple resume, 3 to 5 8x10s, and your thumbnails. You will get 75 points for this, and you will get 75 points for the photo show. Okay, sound good? The questions I will ask each of you next week to answer is going to be what challenges did you have, successes you had, and did you enjoy doing the portfolio, creating a portfolio? I already know some challenges with Adobe Spark. I know that. You might have had challenges with your photos, like post-editing them or something. Whatever they might be, you'll share those. Because anytime you do a project, you'll find this out in life if you've not already done a lot of projects already. I always do things like a lessons learned thing where you go over, what happened good in this project? What happened bad? What didn't go so hot? That's good. You learn from it and helps you be honest about your process and our process, and we can both kind of calibrate. And then hopefully you enjoyed it a little bit, and different aspects of maybe finding photos you haven't seen in a while, editing photos, doing the photo show. Some of you might actually found another option for photo shows too, because I didn't just exclusively say you got to use Adobe Photoshop. You can use anything you want to, actually, as long as it runs. I don't care, because there's literally hundreds of options out there. You already know that. And so, I mean, I even had some student last semester, they did their photo show on Facebook. It's actually pretty good because it has a lot of good filters in it and transitions, and had it all. Now, granted, everybody else saw it too on their Facebook, but they didn't care. And so, yeah, not bad. I don't know if you guys heard today, Mark Zuckerberg announced the new upcoming Facebook changes. Everybody hear the announcements, by the way? Facebook dating, it's coming. Facebook dating. And then Facebook Crush, that's coming as well. I don't know what that means. But those two changes, and then also privacy changes. And so we knew that was coming with everything that's went on with Facebook. We'll watch everybody's portfolio presentation next week. I will play each one after the other. You won't have to come up to the front or anything. I'll just ask you the questions of them all. About these 3 questions. I will stick to all 3 questions. I won't ask anything else but those. So you'll be prepped for it coming in. I won't throw a curveball like, why did you wait so long to come to college or anything like that? I won't do that. Or, what's your plan for life? I won't do that. Then you'll complete a survey for each person. which is a very simple survey. If you ever have to create a survey, by the way, this is a really cool survey tool called Wufoo, which creates by SurveyMonkey. It's totally free, and it gathers all the information, student name, profession that they chose, and what did you like about the presentation. And I want everybody to be as positive as you can, because for some students, and maybe yourself, this is your first time presenting in a while, or ever. If you've been, I've had some students in the past been homeschooled, and it's the first time they've ever presented in front of a group of people. And I understand that can be concerning to some. So that's why I do the survey online and try to, have you come up front and everything like that. But anyway, and then what you like about the presentation, that will encourage students to maybe continue on and do it again for another event that they take photos of, like a wedding or a reunion or something like that. So if you have a wedding or reunion coming up, you can definitely do that. Now I will be in here, and you can disregard the May 7th because I'm going to have you just bring it in to the actual presentation next week. And I did open this up to a discussion. That way you guys can see each other's portfolio beforehand. And next week, what I'll do is I'll just go through here and play everybody's video through this portfolio discussion. All right, well, that's about all I have. Any questions from anybody? Okay, you guys look pretty excited, I can tell. Yeah? Do I know? Yeah, and again, it's not a hard number, but over the years, students have averaged between 30 and 50. It's not a hard number, so if you have 25, you're not going to be graded down for 25 photos. Yeah.
Do we have to take new pictures?
No, you don't. You do not have to, no. You do not. You can use photos you took 10 years ago if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, you do not have to take all new photos for this project. The whole purpose of the portfolio is to not just take photos, but it's actually to learn how to post, edit, and to present your photos, basically. The whole purpose of it. So hopefully that, yeah, so don't have to go out midnight taking photos the night before. No, just gather photos you have for your portfolio. That's a good question. I've answered a few times, but I know it might have gotten missed or something. So any other questions about portfolio or the presentation? Yes. That's fine. Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. Any other questions on portfolio or the presentation? I do have, again, those that came in after we got started, I do have an example by Brandon Woolbright of just format example of what should be in your portfolio for next week. And if you wanted to drop this off between now and Tuesday, and again, nobody's going to bother, you can just lay it on here. Just do me a favor if you do bring it in here, because David put his in here already. Just shoot me an email, that way I know, because what I'll do is I'll tell the lab person out there, I'll have a box to put them in, and they'll just grab them and put them in a box. Sound good? Questiones? What's the question? Basically what? Does?
Yeah, so this is a screenshot.
The piece of downloaded, don't do that. Pay it down with a resume builder.
I think I did use that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't used to, so I can put a different link out there. So yeah.
For the downline for the have you used WSpark?
How big one now?
Have you used WSpark?
No, you don't. Mm-mm. You don't have to use. You do not have to use Adobe Spark. It should work fine on a Chromebook. Yeah, it'll work fine on that. But if you don't like Adobe Spark, which some students might, you can. Yeah, you can definitely run it on a Chromebook. It should be fine. And it works best in a Chrome browser. But the only issue students are having, which I know I've had too, is if you finish the photo show without changing the timing as you're creating the photo show, sometimes it does not like it and it crashes if you try to change the timing afterwards. And what you have to do is just duplicate that photo show and then make your changes. That works. No, you don't have to do that. No, I mean, if you want to, you can, but you don't have to. How do you do that? You do not. No, you do not. You do not have to do it. Now, you know, you can do it easily. Do a photo marker with Photoshop or even Pixlr. You can do that. If you want help on how to do that, I can show you how to do that. But you don't need that for this. Yeah, you don't need that for this one at all. Yeah, Pixlr Editor works. Other questions? All right, well, we are done. If you have any questions, come up and see me. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing everybody's portfolio next week. Just don't wait till the night before, like I've done in the past. Maybe get it done 2 nights before, maybe. How's that? All right, sound good? All right, well, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see everybody next week. And the portfolio is up here at the front if you want to take a gander at the example. Great. All right. The student online did duplicate, and it did say it did allow her to fix the timing after she duplicated. So great, that worked. So if that happens to you guys, which has happened to me, that does work. And by the way, Spark does have other families in the family of software besides video. They have Post if you like to post on social media, and they do a good job of creating posting for social media, which I do a lot. And then they also have Pages, which is basically creating a web page, like an online web magazine kind of thing, interactive, and it's totally free. So they have mobile apps for all those as well. Cool. And here's the example right here you want to look at. I mean, his is probably good too, but here's the one I picked. You can actually set it on that counter right there.
Oh, you can't look at it and see if it's okay first?
Oh, I can definitely look at it. Yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
20 bucks.
Okay.
$20.
Oh.
Only 20. You got to make some extra money. So.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
if I should redo that because it's kind of pixelated.
Nah,
I
I wouldn't.
snip it. I snipped it.
No. If you were turning this to an employer, I'd say yes, but
Yeah.
just for the class assignment, it doesn't look bad.
Okay.
No, it is a little pixelated, but it's not that bad.
And so I did these on.
Oh, you did it in circles?
Well, the paper, if you can tell, is metallic photo paper, and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of didn't work, so I just did it on plain paper on the back.
Oh, it's fine. That's good. I like the circles. That looks great. And then you got all the thumbnails that way. Yeah, because you did the artistic. Yep. Good. Like it. That's good.
And then where do we put the link for the? Like, I just uploaded mine to YouTube. I didn't know what
Uploaded
to do.
your video, your
Yeah.
photos?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with it.
Use Spark. In the example, let me show you here on the class
Because I
assignment.
made mine in Photoshop.
Okay, let me show you on the